What's up, you guys? It's Scott here. So yesterday I made a video talking about my top book recommendations, and I actually gave you 6 of highly recommended books that I recommend you read in regards to growing your business, having success, building your wealth, especially in the context of being a therapist and a coach. So while in the last video I was all talking about wealth and success, what I wanted to do today was something a little bit different. And today I want to give you my top 5 recommendations for hypnotherapy, NLP, and coaching books. With so many different people and theories and strategies out there about the best type of hypnotherapy, the best type of coaching, and the best type of NLP, I do just want to give you this quick disclaimer. These are my recommendations. I'm not saying you have to agree with me, but I do recommend if you haven't checked out these books, and they're quite easy to get a hold of, I highly recommend that you add these to your library. So like normal, if you haven't already, make sure you like this video. I'm going to sit here and pause until you like the video. Only joking, of course. Go and like this video. Go and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this with all your colleagues and friends that are also therapists and coaches as well. But also let me know in the comments after you've watched this video and seen my recommendations, which books have been your favorite? What are you reading right now? I think for a big community that's following this YouTube channel, it'd be great references for people like you to leave your recommendations for your top hypnotherapy and coaching books as well. I don't have physical copies of these books. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take you over to Amazon so you can see what the book actually looks like. I'll give you a quick description of that book, and then if it feels like something you want to read, go ahead and purchase these books. So let's dive in. So I don't think we could have started this list in any other way than my absolute personal favorite, and from my own idol, Milton Erickson. This is The February Man. So this is written by Milton Erickson, also Ernest Rossi. So yes, although a little bit pricey, it is classic literature, I believe. So if you are serious about becoming a hypnotherapist and really mastering therapeutic skills to help your clients, this should be a must read for all hypnotherapists. So this is The February Man, Evolving Consciousness and Identity in Hypnotherapy. What I adore about this book is not only how many times I've actually read this book, how I always pick up on something new, it's actual transcripts of therapeutic sessions by Milton Erickson himself and his actual clients. So you'll see the entire breakdown of the entire session, but you also hear feedback from the client. It's almost like having a bird's eye view, which for most of us watching this will have never, ever experienced and could never experience because unfortunately Milton Erickson has passed away. But it gives us a bird's eye view of what it would have been like to sit in on a session with the master himself and actual his therapeutic clients as well. If you don't know a lot about Milton Erickson, he was known to treat clients that were coined untreatable. These patients, unfortunately, have been through years and years of therapy with other therapists and other healers with no results. So they were then sent to Milton Erickson almost like a last-ditch effort to try and get some resolution to their problem. And this is where Milton Erickson stepped up, and he was known for that. So if you haven't checked out this book, The February Man, let me give you a quick description that's on Amazon. Highly recommend you go check this out. So this is the book. This book is a fascinating case study that illustrates the use of multiple levels of consciousness and meaning to access and therapeutically reframe traumatic memories that were the source of very severe phobias and depression. Like I said, this is pretty much all case studies. I don't think you could get any better knowledge than this, and actual listening to therapeutic type strategies being applied in the real world with real clients and actually getting their client feedback as well. So go check that out. That is The February Man. If out of all the books I'm going to give you today, this would be number 1 on my list. Next book on my list is Igor Ledochowski's Deep Trance Training Manual. So I do highly recommend this book as well, especially if you're interested in the non-script approach to hypnosis and especially conversational hypnosis as well. Now, for a lot of you guys may have heard of Igor Ledochowski before. He's more famous for things like mind-bending language and advanced deep trance training, but this is where it all started with him, and I think this is really what put him on the map. So this is really a strategy book. It not only breaks down how to use conversational hypnosis, the frameworks, the strategies, the steps, how to use metaphors, and all things like this. It's a quick and easy manual to follow and start to build up your own therapeutic skills as well. So go check this one out. This is also on Amazon as well. I'll give you the quick description for this. Here is the cover over here so you know what it looks like. So the Deep Trance Training Manual Volume 1 is the book for everyone exploring deep trance phenomena. Building upon the reader's existing practical ability and basic knowledge, this systematic training approach holds the key to including deep trance states quickly and easily. And obviously, guys, we're doing this all without scripts. So this work presents practical exercises designed to improve technique and core theoretical principles from all the major hypnotic perspectives, supporting the development of elegance, individual style, and language, and the mastery of powerful approaches for dealing with others. So this is all about strategy. This is all about the techniques. This is all about using conversation hypnosis, the words, the process, the pattern, all of the things that you must learn if you're interested in conversation hypnosis. Go check this one out. That's Igor Ledochowski's Deep Trance Training Manual. Also, if you're interested more in Igor Ledochowski's work, there are a ton of videos on YouTube. He has a ton of home-based trainings that you can go check out as well. Things like mind-bending language and all his deep trance phenomena training as well. I highly recommend that. Absolutely fantastic. Go check this book out, add it to your library, and let's move on to book number 3. I try not to be biased here and have Milton Erickson in the list twice, but I couldn't go past this one because it's a personal favorite as well. So this is Milton Erickson's My Voice Will Go With You, The Teaching Tales of Milton H. Erickson. So for me, this was more about understanding the way that Milton Erickson thought, his life, what he went through, and the approach that he took for himself to deal with his own problems and his issues. So I really believe like this is like a personal development book. So it's all about teaching tales, their stories. You'll learn a lot about Milton Erickson as well, but subtly included in all of these teaching tales are things that you can actually use for your own life as well. So if you're really interested in your own personal development, not necessarily just learning hypnotherapy, go check this one out. It is an absolute favorite of mine. My Voice Will Go With You. Most people have probably heard of this. This is classic literature as well. It's a great price for the book that you'll get. The Teaching Tales of Milton H. Erickson. Go into this book on a journey with Milton Erickson, apply the strategies he talked about, how he used them for himself to overcome his own pains, his own issue, and what was basically a very rough life for Milton Erickson, and how he changed his own attitude and his whole persona and everything about him to become the greatest therapist of all time. So go check that one out. That's My Voice Will Go With You. Very simple for this one. Let's move on to book number 4. Our fourth book and recommendation on this list is by Richard Bandler and John Grinder. Couldn't leave this one off the list. So this is Frogs into Princes, which is NLP or Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Frogs into Princes is the actual transcripts of the very first NLP seminar that was taught by Richard Bandler and also John Grinder. This is all the transcripts of the entire seminar. You'll actually hear all the strategies, hear all the stories, how they come up with NLP, the strategies used for your own personal development. But again, you also get the feedback from the actual students that were there. So just imagine what it would have been like to be at the very first NLP seminar. It would have been absolutely amazing. I guess this is as close as we will get to it. Frogs into Princes. There is one downside to this book. It's a little bit bloated. For those that have maybe watched the works of Richard Bandler before, you know that he can go off on a lot of tangents. He can talk a lot. He can tell a lot of nonsensical stories that have no real connection to what he's trying to teach, but that's just the way he is. That's just his type of attitude. That's just his type of way of teaching. So I do recommend going into this book when you've got a little bit of spare time. Take your time with it. Don't worry too much about the bloat. Don't worry about too much how he goes off subject and all this stuff. Take the book for what it is. This will become, if it isn't already, classic literature. The very first glimpse of NLP live by the people who pioneered and created NLP. We know that they modeled all the masters, including Milton Erickson, of that time to become some of the best therapists in the world and turn all that knowledge into NLP as we know it today, 30 to 40, even close to 50 years later. So that is Frogs into Princes, Neuro-Linguistic Program. Go check this one out. I wouldn't put this one as, yes, you have to go get this first, but when you do have some time, please go and check this one out. It will do absolute wonders if you're really interested in NLP and learning about the history and how it all started. But it's almost like I said, that bird's eye view of actually being there at the first seminar. So that's book number 4, Frogs into Princes. Let's move on to book number 5. So last but definitely not least, we've got Richard Bandler again and Richard Bandler's Guide to Transformation. So this is more of a story about NLP and how Richard Bandler went on a journey to study the greatest therapists and healers of that time to create NLP. And it's got a great description here, which will really sum up the book. I do recommend checking this one out. So more than 30 years ago, Richard Bandler set out to discover how some therapists affected startling change with their clients, while others argued about theories while their patients waited in vain for help. Sounds like a lot of the industry today, spending more time arguing about who's the best and what the best therapy is in compared to actually treating clients. But now regarded as the world's greatest hypnotist and one of the most brilliant minds in the field of personal change, Richard Bandler created patterns that became the bedrock of neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, arguably one of the most profoundly effective approaches for self-development. And as we know, all your favorite gurus right now, even people like Tony Robbins, have mastered NLP to become some of the greatest therapists and coaches of our time. So go check this one out. It's a little bit short. It's quite a small book, but it takes you through the entire journey of how he went and modeled the top therapists and healers of the time. Very fascinating story. So Richard Bandler's Guide to Transformation, go check this one out. And folks, that is my list of 5 books. So you might be thinking, I wonder if Scott's going to plug his own books. Maybe, maybe not. So yes, I am going to plug my book because why not? So guys, if you jump over to Amazon as well, I'll actually leave a link in the description for this book as well. Got 2 books I want to talk about. These are 2 books that I've written personally myself. The first one, and my favorite, and seems to be one of the most popular for the community of people that have read this, is Conversational Hypnosis. It's Spotting Unconscious Moments, the Scott Jansen Hypnosis Method. This is introducing my absurd formula. So it's my own formula that I use for my own hypnotherapy clients as well. So I'll read the description. There's a very young version of me over there on the left-hand side. So this is the book of the unconscious principles that will transform you into a versatile hypnotist. Once you begin to think, act, and feel differently about hypnosis and trance, you will speed up your results in learning and applying hypnosis. This book is the essence of just one principle, that is my own spotting unconscious moments. It's these moments of pure unconscious expression that allow even the most sophisticated techniques to work and exist in the first place. So this is not a book about techniques, rather it's a book exploring the principles that govern all of hypnosis, like the principles that govern mathematics, physics, and the human bodily functions. This book will explore in detail only the most standout principles. So the very way you see and use hypnosis shifts and changes you until you're not doing hypnosis, but you're becoming it. So with this book, it goes beyond just the techniques. I start to talk about the framework that I use for over a decade with my own therapeutic clients, but I also give you some actual transcripts. I love that transcript model of actual clients. A couple of clients that I work with, you'll get the actual transcript, the feedback from the client, and I go into detail about why I said certain things, why I did certain strategies, and everything else in between. So if you're a fan of conversational hypnosis, you've maybe seen my earlier hypnosis videos when I was actually training people and I was actually at seminars, or even at some of my live sessions that are on YouTube as well. This is where it all started for me. So this is my own personal journey. Now, alongside this book, I actually turned this book into an actual seminar. So guys, come over to Udemy. I will leave the link below. We've actually got a special on this course at the moment. This is the complete conversation hypnosis program. This is the book live in action. It's the 3-day seminar of me actually teaching all the principles from the book to a live group of very advanced hypnotherapists, coaches, and NLPers. Go check this out. It's a live seminar. It's only going for right now, as I can see, about $11. Okay, so there's a ton of information in that seminar. There's a ton of live seminars and live actual strategies, I should say. I think we did about 15 live actual therapeutic sessions where I'm actually coaching my students to apply these strategies as they're working with other students that will ultimately become their real clients. So go check that out. So jump over to Amazon, click on the link below, Spotting Unconscious Moments, then come over to Udemy if you want to check out the actual seminar of that book as well. And yes, I'm going to plug one more book. So with my ego nearly full, let me plug my last book. So this is Conversation Hypnosis, the 6-stage hypnosis formula, which I introduce you guys to what I call my fitter formula. So here it is on the left-hand side here. Go check this one out, guys. There is no seminar to this, but it is a very comprehensive book. So let me give you the description. So from first glance, you will see the fitter formula creates the beginning of a hypnosis session and navigates through the completion of your session. So it's a breakdown, guys, from how to work with clients from the very first time that you see them for something therapeutic, all the way through testing and all the way making sure that they never get their problem back again. So navigate through the completion of your session. These 6 stages can be easily adjusted to suit many afflictions. The only part that changes is how you express an individual stage. So for example, the induction, like any good hypnotist will tell you, they have certain inductions they prefer over others. These range from language-based inductions, Ericksonian inductions, confusion, storytelling, or even non-verbal speed inductions. And for this volume, that's the volume of the book, we will include certain inductions that express the fitter formula correctly. So you will be happy to know that we're not just revealing principles like I did in my Spotting Unconscious Moments hypnotherapy book. We will discuss certain techniques so you can get a handle on these too. What will remain the same throughout using the fitter formula is the use of unconscious moments. So it's more of an expression of how we use spotting unconscious moments to attach to your favorite strategies as well. So again, this is more of a beginner to an advanced book as well. So it's the 6-stage fitter formula, my 6-stage hypnosis book. Go check this one out. I'll leave another link below, guys. But again, that's, I guess, 7 of my favorite books. Thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you leave some comments below of the favorite books you're reading now. These are great resources for newcomers to hypnotherapy and coaching as well. So guys, that's all from me for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.